Hey guys, this is Faye from Feisworld, and thank you guys for watching and giving me so many views on the previous video I created, which is called The Best and Cheapest Health Insurance for Freelancers. Now, I live in Boston, Massachusetts, and funny enough, Massachusetts Health Connector health insurance was one of the first in the country. So while all the government-assisted health insurances look similar, for you guys, if you live outside of Massachusetts, where you want to start is called healthcare.gov, which is this website right here. And to see if you can enroll and how you get started is first by selecting your state, and then you need to enter your email to get started. Now, in every state in the US, the rules are very different. However, the process is more or less the same. As you can imagine, you go through a more standard application process. Then there are specific questions related to your health conditions, your needs, your family size, your age, etc. But also there are rules and guidelines specific to your state. I'm here today in this video to demonstrate step by step going through the forms in Massachusetts, which is called Mass Health Connector. You can Google this as well if you don't want to start with healthcare.gov. And I wanted to record this video even though I have gone through the process years and years ago. The good news is you only need to do this pretty much once. And then at the end of every year, you will receive an email update, also a letter to say that, hey, we're going to carry over all the information that you entered in the previous year to the upcoming year. Then you have the opportunity, actually about 60 days or so, to update your personal information if anything changed, such as a freelancer, your income may change. Who knows? Maybe you have a new baby. A lot of things change, or you have a new dependent for any reason. So let's get started. This is Mass Health Connector. So if you're from Massachusetts, you're in for a treat. I even created a separate email address just for this, so I can start from scratch. I'm currently using Chrome Incognito to make sure that it's not picking up any of my existing information. So this is the main page. The Health Connector call center is experiencing high level number of callers right now. By the way, I have something to say about that. Yes, sometimes it's harder to get through to them, as you can imagine. But in recent years, I've had not a terrible experience, and they are all quite polite and they're very knowledgeable. So what you need to do is scroll down, and if you are from New York and elsewhere, I actually have checked out about 10 different websites for different states. They're kind of all similar. Basically, it's telling you whether you start as an individual or you start as a family or, some other options. But to get started, you can hover over on Get Started here in Massachusetts, and your options are individual, families, or employers, employees, and brokers. So if you're a freelancer and if you're a creative entrepreneur, by the way, you don't have to be a full-time freelancer. If you do not have health insurance from your employer, or you don't like the option for whatever reason that it offers, you want a bigger variety to choose from, you want to start here. I know that sounds totally unusual because most employees will follow whatever it's there, but I've definitely encountered people who did their research and are better off as a result of this. So let's click on Start here under Individual and Families. Now you're taken to this page, Get Health and Dental Coverage for You and Your Family. These websites are changing, every once in a while, but for the most part, you get to the information fairly quickly. Ready to apply? Not sure where to start? Go here. So for this video, I'm just gonna apply and see how it goes. So let's get started. If you have already created an account, when you come back, you go into sign in. But here I'm creating a brand new account, so I can either click on create an account or apply now. It's the same thing. Now I'm taken to a very, a website that looks like it's from 97, right? So this part is kind of across the board, very similar. Number one, at least in Massachusetts, you need to create a Optum Id. So what is an Optum Id? This is basically their security browser. This is them reassuring that it is secure, and enables a single sign-on, so SSO, to all integrated applications. I will spare you the time. I am trying to show you guys how this all works. So it says, please verify your email and click on the activation link in the email, enter the 10-digit activation code. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So what you want to do is copy the 10-digit app, click on activation, and then is ready to use, click on the continue button to finish. So email already verified, click on continue. Make sure you read the agreement. And now here's my profile for individual and family. So that's the same application. You will have the opportunity to add as many people as you need to for your family. And so I won't be filling out all of this information because as I'm going through these pages, I will be able to save some of the information and be able to kind of go back and forth. So I want to show you guys what are some of the information you need right away and approximately how long it will take. Contact information, email, these are all the usual, date of birth, social security, and they tell you we need a social security number for every person applying for health insurance, health coverage who has one. SSN is optional for people not applying for health coverage, but giving us an SSN can speed up the application process. And then it requires a home address here, as you can see, and also your mailing address. If it's different than your home address, contact phone number, contact preference, and spoken language. One thing I want to mention here is if you are applying and English, it's not your first language, or if you are, if you're watching this video, chances are you are more or less comfortable in English, but if you want to recommend this video or show other people, teach other people how to do the same, I have good news for you because at least in Massachusetts, they offer a pretty extensive list of languages that they can send you. They can actually hire, they have interpreters on the call with you 24/7 if needed, and if you speak a different language, it is quite okay. So from here, what I need to do is actually create a profile first, and then I'm able to move on and enter additional information. So I'm going to take 1 minute here just to do that, and then I'll come back to the next screen with you guys. Okay, now that you have created an account, I want to show you the information you need to enter in order to find out the programs that you qualify for. Now, I have a separate video to explain what these programs mean. For example, as you can see on my screen, at a high level here in Massachusetts, you have something called Connector Care Plan, Massachusetts State, this is the same thing, Connector Care Plan, Health Safety Net. There's also something called Mass Health, which is the equivalent of Medicaid, but that is what is called in Massachusetts. So I certainly don't qualify for that through my age currently. And there are other types of plans, but basically here you see that these are the programs you qualify for. Now, the actual health insurance you get with these programs are very different. Now, you are being asked of your family and household information, things such as your social security, you're applying for coverage, whether for yourself or someone else, your date of birth, your citizenship. In this case, you will need at least a permanent resident card, meaning you need to be a green card holder or a permanent resident living in the U.S. in order to apply, go through Massachusetts Health Connector. You will also be asked about your ethnicity, whether you're currently pregnant or not, whether you have an address where you're living. There's also an option if you do not have a home and a home address, and any pre-existing conditions and accommodations, where you intend to reside, but there's also going to be incarceration information as well. The next section is called the text filing. So whether you file as a single person, head of household, or otherwise. Then there's family income, their income type, whether you're self-employed. So that is something for you guys as freelancers to consider. These are sample data that I put down just to show you that even if you're self-employed, making $3,000 monthly, which to a lot of people, that doesn't sound like a lot of money, and your projected yearly income with that monthly income is going to be $36,000. So I'll let you do the math. And self-attested total amount received monthly. And by the way, what is this? This amount is your current monthly income, because just because you make $3,000 a month, what you end up receiving as a salary to yourself as a freelancer may be very different. For example, you need to pay for health insurance. You'll have other expenses for your business, for sure, advertising, but also hardware and maintenance and things like that. So let's come back to additional information here. And there are going to be some additional information. My responses to this example, it's all been known. And then you're required to sign the information as well. So now once all that's done, you're back to your eligibility results. Now, this is very important. Number one, you may qualify, you may not qualify. Chances are, as you could see from the FBL, there's a good chance you're going to qualify for something. So there we go. 200 based on the reported income. Again, mine was between around 288. Okay, so the reported income overall for me, it's gonna be through the example, it's gonna be between a monthly income of $2,000 to $3,000. You qualify for tax credit, and it's not a whole lot, but it shows you what the government can pay for your health insurance. Your program eligibility, we just talked about, and also there are any documents that you need to upload, even though at the beginning you may not need to upload anything at all. But as you progress through the application process, there may be things you need to submit, such as proof of your green card, your resident card, things such as your bank statement, or your previous year's income, things such as your tax return. I do remember having to file very extensive amount of information, but then again, you only have to do this once. So hope you guys found that video helpful. Again, this video is focused on the step-by-step process of signing up for Massachusetts Health Connector and to see the types of programs that you qualify for. And then after that, once you successfully submitted your application, you'll be presented with actual insurance, both health insurance and dental, that you can choose from. Now, whether you can apply for your health insurance at this moment in time is depending on what's called life events. So click on this video up here to learn more about what life events is all about. In other words, the open enrollment is open to the public, to everyone between November 1st and January 31st. However, there are life events that you may qualify for to allow you to consider and apply and get approved for these health insurance and dental insurance at any given point of the year. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, I would love that you submit in the comments below. And I will encourage you to learn more about these programs and to experience and experiment through MA Health Connector, especially if you live in Massachusetts. If not, please start with healthcare.gov. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video.